Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at a story that's been around for ages. It's Jacob's ladder from Genesis chapter 28.
Oh, yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, it might seem like just some old tale, but honestly, it's full of insights about, like heritage guidance, commitment, and like this idea of divine presence.
Yeah.
And you know what? These insights, they still kind of hit home even for us today.
It's wild, right? How these stories from so long ago still, speak to us on such a deep level.
It really is. So let's set the stage a bit.
Okay.
We find Jacob. He's at a crossroads, Drakes. You know what I mean?
I do.
He's running from his brother Esau's anger after some,
Yeah.
family drama, let's just say that.
Right, right.
And so his dad, Isaac, sends him off to find a wife from his mom's family.
It's like a journey that starts out of necessity, but then it turns into this huge, spiritual awakening.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So picture this. Jacob's on the road. He's alone.
Yeah.
Probably feeling all anxious and uncertain about the future. I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And he stops for the night using a stone for a pillow. Talk about roughing it.
Oh, man.
But then things get interesting. He has this crazy, vivid dream about a ladder stretching from earth all the way to heaven with angels going up and down.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Yeah, and that ladder, it's not just some random image. It's like this powerful symbol connecting the earth and the divine. Like it's saying, even when we're struggling, we still have access to something bigger, a source of guidance and inspiration.
And that's not even all. In the dream, God appears to Jacob.
No way.
I know.
Oh.
And God reaffirms the covenant made with his ancestors, Abraham and Isaac.
Oh, wow.
God promises Jacob land, tons of descendants, and blessings galore. Talk about an inheritance.
Those promises, they go way beyond material stuff and kids. It's like they symbolize this potential we all have inside us, the possibility of abundance growth and spiritual fulfillment.
Okay, so Jacob wakes up, and I mean, obviously he's blown away.
Of course.
He names the place Bethel, meaning house of God.
Right.
And he sets up the stone as a pillar, pouring oil on it to mark it as sacred.
He's consecrating this totally normal thing, transforming a simple stone into a symbol. You know what I mean? It's a powerful reminder that we can create our own Bethels in our lives.
So you're saying the divine isn't just in temples or faraway places. We can find it in our everyday lives.
Exactly, if we just open our eyes to it.
That's awesome. So then Jacob makes a vow. Deeply moved by this whole experience, he promises God that if God stays with him, provide for him, and brings him back home safe, then the Lord will be his God.
Sounds like a deal.
It does, right?
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about reciprocity, our relationship with the divine. It's not just about getting blessings. It's about being in that relationship, giving our commitment and devotion in return for guidance and support.
So we got to show up, do our part, not just wait around.
Exactly. It's about actively participating. And that idea is the key to how we can apply these ancient teachings to our lives today.
I think that's a great point to pause and let everyone soak this in. We've covered a lot, and we've got some fascinating stuff coming up. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. So we just walked through that first part of Jacob's journey, and it's crazy how it starts with him running from his past, but then boom, it leads him to this encounter that totally shapes his future.
It's like those moments in life when everything gets shaken up, right? Those times of uncertainty.
Yeah.
That's when we're the most open to new stuff, new possibilities.
You're so right. It's like when our comfy routines get messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're forced to look inside and outside of ourselves,
Totally.
to find guidance and meaning in ways we never even thought of before.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens to Jacob. He's on the run, feeling totally vulnerable, alone, and yet in that moment, he gets this incredible vision.
Right.
This connection between heaven and earth, this promise of divine support and guidance. It's amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's telling us that sometimes we need to step outside our comfort zones.
Yeah.
Let go of what we know to experience something truly life-changing.
And speaking of life-changing, let's talk about those blessings. Jacob gets land, descendants, divine favor. It all seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But there's a deeper meaning here, a message that goes beyond just the literal stuff.
So what are we really talking about then?
Okay, think about it this way. Land, that symbolizes being grounded, having a foundation to build a life of purpose.
Okay, I like that.
And descendants. Those aren't just about family. It's about the impact we have on the world, the legacy we leave behind.
I never thought of it that way.
And then you have divine favor. That's being in alignment with your true self, feeling supported and guided by something bigger than yourself.
Whoa, that's a whole new way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's not about the material stuff or family line. It's about the things that give our lives meaning and purpose.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the idea of creating our own Bethels, those sacred spaces where we can connect with that sense of the divine, like you were saying before.
Yeah, like it could be a physical space, like a corner in your house for meditation, or a place in nature that makes you feel peaceful.
Right. Or it could be something you do, like a ritual that helps you feel grounded and connected.
Oh, I get it. Like taking a walk, listening to music, journaling, or even just taking a few deep breaths to be present.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you, what helps you connect with that feeling of peace, inspiration, and connection to something bigger.
You know, it's amazing how Jacob's story reminds us that even when things are tough and uncertain, we can still create those moments of connection, find meaning and purpose in our lives.
Absolutely. It's not about waiting for some grand revelation or for God to just magically fix things.
Right.
It's about choosing to seek out those experiences, to be aware and open to the possibilities around us.
That's a powerful message, especially now when things feel kind of crazy and uncertain.
It is. It reminds us that we're not alone. Just like Jacob had his ancestors and the divine, we have people and resources too.
Like family, friends, our community, and even our own inner strength.
Exactly. And just like Jacob's journey wasn't a straight line, ours won't be either. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns.
That's for sure.
But if we stay open to learning, growing, and seeking connection, we'll find our own Bethels along the way.
Okay, so before we move on to our final segment, I want to leave you with this question. If you were to create your own Bethel in the world today, what would it look like? And what practices or rituals would help you connect with that sense of the divine in your everyday life? Really think about that as we go deeper into Jacob's story. We're back, and, diving into Jacob's ladder has been pretty amazing. It's like this story from Genesis just keeps giving. We've been talking about finding guidance, creating those sacred spaces, and really being a part of our relationship with the divine.
It's true.
But what really strikes me is that Jacob's experience wasn't just some one-time thing. It feels like it speaks to something we can all relate to. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Like it's that human need to connect, to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, to find meaning and purpose when everything else feels kind of crazy and overwhelming.
Totally.
And that's probably why this story still speaks to us.
Yeah.
Even though it's ancient history.
Right.
We've all had those times when we felt lost, uncertain, even scared of what's next.
Oh, yeah.
But just like Jacob found peace and direction in his dream, we can too. We can look for those experiences, those connections that remind us we're not alone.
And those connections, they don't have to be some big dramatic thing, like a ladder to heaven or a voice from the clouds.
Right.
They can be right here in the everyday things.
Like what?
Like the beauty of a sunrise, a
Right.
good laugh with someone you love, or even just finishing something and feeling good about it.
Yeah, I get it.
It's about paying attention, being open to seeing those little sacred moments woven into our lives.
And I think that's what creating our own Bethels is really about. Making space for those moments, whether it's a physical space or just a feeling.
It is, and it's about doing it on purpose.
Right.
Making those practices, those rituals a part of our routine.
So like daily meditation, spending time outdoors, being creative.
Exactly. It's whatever feeds your soul, whatever helps you feel grounded and connected to something bigger.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring back that question we asked earlier. If you could create your own Bethel today, what would it be? What would you do to feel that connection with the divine in your everyday life?
It's a big question, and there's no right answer. It's about finding what works for you, what makes you feel connected and gives you strength.
So as you go about your day, think about that. Keep exploring, keep searching, and keep creating those ways to connect and find meaning. Just like Jacob's journey, our journeys are full of possibility.
They are.
And who knows, you might even find your own Bethel when you least expect it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and remember the journey is sacred.
And keep diving deep.